Have you ever sat in silence with a hot cup of coffee in your hands, looked out the window, and wondered, how did I get here? Not in a sad way, just reflective. That's exactly how I felt one morning, sitting on my porch, with the sunlight warming my face and the birds singing, as they always do. I looked at my phone, and there it was, a message from someone I recently met. And suddenly it occurred to me, I'm dating again. After 35 years. How did this happen? Before we begin, can I ask you a small favor? If this speaks to your heart, if you're dating again, thinking about it, or even just wondering, would you mind clicking this As button? It's a small gesture, but it helps others like us find that space. And let's be honest, we need more spaces like this. No pressure, no judgment. So let's talk. Really talk. The last time I went out on a date, people were still making mixtapes. The restaurants had smoking areas. And we waited by the phone, the one that was hanging on the wall, remember? I was married for over 3 decades. A life with rhythms, shared meals, vacations with the children, family routines. So life changed. As always, there was sadness, there was silence, there was a cure. And yes, there was loneliness too. The quiet type, the kind who just lives in his room when no one else is home. I wasn't looking for love again. Seriously, I thought this part of life was over. And honestly, I had made peace with it. But life has a way of surprising us. Sometimes it opens a window, even after you've closed the door. It started small. A friend encouraged me to join an online group. Not romantic at all, just people our age sharing stories, recipes, and dog pictures. One day, someone replied to my post. The message seemed thoughtful. Not a ladies' man, just gentle. And that awakened something in me that I hadn't felt in a long time. Curiosity. This is how it starts, not with fireworks, but with curiosity. Conversations, then calls, then an invitation. Would you like to grab a coffee sometime? I was 63 years old and about to have my first date since the 80s. Now, what do you wear on a date when you're 63? I stood in front of the mirror for 30 minutes, holding 2 blouses as if I were choosing a wedding dress. I changed my earrings 3 times. I sprayed on perfume and then worried it was too much. I haven't felt so insecure in years. But when I arrived, he stood up to greet me. And so I remembered how to breathe. We talked. We laughed. We stumbled a bit. It was strange. It was honest. Surprisingly adorable. But here's what no one tells you. The hardest part about dating again is not the conversation. It's the voice in your head. Everything is fine? Am I betraying my past? What will my children think? Am I too old for this? These questions are loud at first, but then something else gets louder. Your heart. Your desire to be seen, to be cared for, to be understood. Not because you are incomplete, but because you are human. Because we are programmed for connection at all ages. I felt like a teenager again, not in a silly way, movie-like, but in a real, edgy, stomach-churning way. And yes, I was scared. I was afraid I had forgotten what it was like to be in a relationship, afraid to compare him to the man I lost, afraid of having changed too much, that who I am now may not be enough. But over time, the fear diminished, and something else took its place. Presence, grace, a gentler kind of love. I started noticing little things again, what we feel when someone listens, really listens, how comforting a simple meal together can be, how someone's smile, when they really see you, is like sunlight in winter. And maybe you're thinking, that sounds lovely, but I don't know if I could do it. Let me tell you something. Of course you can. It's not about starting over. It's about starting now, with everything you've lived through. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Not your children, not your friends, not society. It's your chapter. And you can write it. One night we were walking. I stopped to tie my shoe. He waited, smiling. Then he said, "I love how you take your time with things. You're never in a rush." That moment stayed with me. Why date after decades? It's not about passion like it used to be. It's about presence. It's about choosing somebody, not out of habit, but out of caution. When people ask, what's the difference between dating at 30 and at 60? I say, at 30, you're often building a life together. At 60, you're sharing the life you've already built and discovering new parts of it. There is a quiet beauty in this. Less performance, more peace. Of course, not everything was rosy. There is history. There are grown-up children. There is a sadness that sometimes lingers, and yes, guilt. But I learned something important. Guilt is not a compass. Love is. You deserve to feel curious again. Smile at your phone.
Holding someone's hand, not because you have to, but because you want to. You are not alone in this, even if others don't understand, even if fear whispers loudly. You are simply revealing yourself beautifully. Love at this stage of life is not noisy. That's intentional. We're not after fireworks. We are lighting candles. We are slow dancing in the kitchen. We're making tea for two. Dating now isn't about fixing anything. It's about being viewed, to be heard, and give this in return. There is no rush, no deadline, just presence. And that's the most romantic thing of all. And perhaps the most surprising part? It wasn't just about meeting someone new. It was about finding me again. So if you're wondering if the time has come, if your heart is whispering, maybe, this is your sign. Say yes. Even if you're nervous, even if it's messy, even if you've been hurt before. Saying yes to love again, it's also saying yes to yourself. If any part of this touched you, if you felt seen, comforted, or reminded that you are not alone, it would be an honor to have you here. Feel free to subscribe, not because you have to, but because I would love to continue appearing for you. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, send this video to them. You never know whose heart is silently waiting for a little hope. Love is not over. You're not done. You're still here. And your heart still has so much more to give and receive. So go ahead, say yes. You might be surprised at what's still waiting for you. Even now, even after all this time. With love, always.